Welcome to Solutions. This is the heartbeat of our entire website. This is where all the action happens. Our business model is very, very simple. We provide two things. Firstly, we educate. And secondly, we provide solutions. So in amongst this area of solutions, we literally have an extensive amount of education. And then we provide the solutions. So really delve into it. If the different areas that I'm talking about, if you go up above us here, there's actually a drop down menu where you'll see the 6 different areas, and then literally they drop down and they also go out to the side so that it's an unfolding menu structure. Or you can go down below. Over here you'll actually see below me basically there's 6 sections. Again, you can click on that and it'll take you through to the area of your interest. So let me just explain to you roughly these 6 different sections so that you've got an idea of what they are and what they're all about. The first one is Wealth Migrate. Now, Wealth Migrate is for those people, those high net worth, sophisticated investors who have made their money and they are looking for wealth preservation, a plan B, and peace of mind. They are looking to take advantage of the opportunities in international property markets. They are looking at offshore investments, and most importantly, they're also looking at diversification in terms of where they actually are. For me, this is something that is so important. I am absolutely passionate about South Africa. I've lived in South Africa for over 4 generations, and I hope that my family will be living here for another 4 generations. But for me, there is inherent risk in Africa. Half my family is originally from Zimbabwe, and so for me, it's about creating wealth in South Africa and then taking some of that wealth and investing it in international assets and international income. I really was brought up. My uncle in 1980 was 31 years old and the wealthiest person in Zimbabwe. Said to him at the time, you never want to live with your money. And it's all about diversification. And it's not just an African thing. With all due respect, if you'd had all your money tied up in America in 2007, you'd be feeling like a bit of a Picken pool right now, in terms of, because, it's not wise to have everything tied up. So it's all about diversification. And as the world becomes a global village, it's also about taking advantage of the best opportunities around the world in terms of the international markets. So that is what Wealth Migrate is about. It's basically helping you take your wealth and migrating it into the top investment destinations worldwide. There's a couple of processes to it. You'll see the webinar there. This is an extensive webinar where we basically take you through the 5 most dangerous trends affecting all South African citizens today and how you can have wealth preservation, a plan B, and peace of mind. It's a free webinar. It's free for you. It cost us millions to actually put together in terms of the research, the technology, and the experience. But we are prepared to lend it to you, to help you, to educate you so that you can make educated and informed decisions for you and your family's future. The second thing is, once you've watched that webinar, then you can actually go into the survey. And what you can do is you can look and understand, you can go through your fears, what you're trying to achieve, what your objectives. You can help us understand what it is that you're looking to do in terms of where you are. The third thing you can do is you can actually set up a meeting with one of our offshore wealth consultants. They are experts in what they do, and what they do is, it's not about trying to sell you something. They sit down, they understand your needs, they understand your concerns, they understand your values, your objectives, your goals, and what you're trying to achieve, and then based on that, they educate you and they help you in terms of finding solutions in terms of what you're actually doing. You'll also find that we've got a country overview where you can go into the specifics of different international destinations that we actually help people invest in. The first one is Australia, and you can go into the facts, you can go into the overview, you can go into the tax, the frequently asked questions, there's videos and documents there, and there's also links through in terms of the different properties. We've got the same thing for the UK, and we've also got the same thing for America. There are 3 primary destinations for investing offshore. Our logic is that we live in South Africa, it's an emerging market, there's fantastic opportunities here. And so if we're going to invest overseas, we want to invest in the top investment destinations around the world where we're buying into first world assets and first world income. We think it's absolutely paramount, and that really helps us achieve our 3 objectives of wealth preservation, a plan B, and peace of mind in terms of where you actually are. You'll see there in that section, there's also a section on the properties in terms of who we've helped and how we've helped them and the type of properties that people have invested in. It gives you a great idea of the type of solutions that we can and have helped. And again, it's broken down by country. And then we've also got opportunities in terms of the kind of properties that we're looking at the moment, the kind of opportunities that are on the market, to give you some idea of what is out there so that we can help marry, what it is you're looking to achieve with regards to your solution. And then lastly, under the Wealth Create section is a section that we call interesting information. Interesting and important information. There's 3 sections there. The first one is actually a story of 2 brothers. It's actually a true story of 2 brothers, and it's very, very interesting about one brother that looked at the different scenarios and had a scenario for both the high road and the low road, and really by investing overseas it gave him that wealth preservation, a plan B and peace of mind. And unfortunately, it's a tragic story of another brother that didn't plan, and unfortunately, because of that lack of planning, had dire consequences both for him and his family. And it's just a story that I share with you so that you can help make the right decisions in terms of where you actually are and what is going on. Malema's an interesting one. He seems to be out of the picture with the way the ANC acted last year. But what worries me is there are 10 million unemployed youths in this country. They have the ear of the populist vote. And there's a quote here of what Malema was saying at the ANC Youth League on land and how they wanted to redistribute the land. And this is not about doom-mongering, but it's about making sure that your head's not in the sand and that you know what's going on and that you've got a plan no matter what the scenarios are. And then there's a whole section on Clem Sunter. Clem Sunter is the leader worldwide on scenario planning. And in life, we don't know what the future holds. None of us have a crystal ball. So there's different scenarios. And what Clem Sunter recommends is that you plan for different scenarios. And no matter what transpires, you actually have something in place, because that will give you peace of mind. You have a plan B. And then no matter what happens, with the future, you actually can still be happy for both you and your family. And so I wanted to share with you a lot about Clem Sunter. And there's a whole section there in terms of Clem Sunter. The second major part of the website is a part called Wealth Create. Now, Wealth Create is all about property. And at the end of the day, for me, South Africa is an emerging market. There's fantastic opportunity here. I personally created a lot of wealth through property. I bought my first house when I was 22 years old. And what we've done under Wealth Create is that we've shared with you our lessons. We've shared with you the different skills and the strategies in terms of where you are. So again, there's a webinar there where you can understand how to build wealth through South African property and the ins and outs of South African property, what you need to be aware of, both the opportunities and the risks in terms of where you're looking at. There's a course there on how to buy a house. That's for an entry-level person who hasn't bought a house before. It takes you through the nuts and bolts so that you can understand the dynamics in terms of actually buying a house and in terms of where you actually are. There's a webinar there on how to buy, and a course actually on how to buy auction property. We all know at the moment there's a lot of bank repossessions, there's a lot of great opportunities, but it's also a minefield. You've got to know what you're doing. There's 4 different steps to the auction process, and if you buy at the wrong time, you can really put yourself into a huge amount of risk. So for us, it's about investing in yourself as the number 1 law of property, and we've got a course there on how to understand and how to buy auction property in terms of where you actually are. The next one is a South African property overview. So that's where you can go through the facts, the FAQ, the documents, the tax, the finance. Everything that you need to know about South African property is actually covered in that area in terms of where you're actually looking and what it is that you're doing. The 5th section is we give examples of the type of property that our clients have invested in South Africa, and it really gives you an idea across the different sectors, the residential, commercial and the auction properties, in terms of what is available. And then lastly, it's also the opportunities. What is available? What is happening in the market? What are the opportunities out there? Who are the partners that we're dealing with so that they can facilitate and assist you? The 3rd section to our solutions is Let's Talk Property. At the end of the day, Tony Robbins says the easiest way to be successful in life is to model successful people. Why go out and start from scratch when you can go out and find tried and tested investors, copy them, and then you will get the same results. So in Let's Talk Property, it's actually a series where once a month I go out and I interview the greatest minds both in South Africa and globally with regards to property and wealth creation. And under Let's Talk Property, you'll actually see there's a number of different great webinars that we've already had. There's one with Clem Sunter on scenario planning and what is actually happening. There's one with Dr. Hannes Dreyer, one of the leaders in South Africa in wealth creation, and how you can actually choose a great property investment. There's one with Richard Dunn, who's one of my partners in Australia, and what is happening in the Australian market and whether there's opportunity or whether it's got itself into a bubble situation. Justin Clark, the owner of Private Property, looking at online solutions, online sales, online auctions. Where is property going in terms of the online and the internet? And as you know, Private Property is the biggest internet portal in South Africa, and so you couldn't be learning from a better person in terms of where you are. Tim Johnson, one of our partners with regards to the auction side, and him and I discuss auctions and where the opportunities lie at the moment, and trying to understand the auction process in terms of where you are. So that's really just gives you a taste for Let's Talk Property, but you must watch the space. There's also a button there to click and to be kept up to date in terms of all the latest Let's Talk Property series, because I'll be bringing some of the greatest minds around the globe. And at the end of the day, it's all about glocalisation now. And if you go and look up the definition of glocalisation, it's thinking globally, acting locally. We need to be working and copying and modeling the best in the world globally so that we can be successful, not only in South Africa, not only in Africa, but in the global sphere. The fourth section is the live seminars and launches. Now, IPS has built its brand, it's built its reputation on live seminars where we educate people, we teach them, we educate them about the market, we educate them about the risks, we tell them about the opportunities, we introduce them to partners, we tell them what's happening in the economy, both in the global economy and in the local economy. So we've got a number of different events there. And if you go to that section, you'll actually see some of the plans for some of the events that we've got through the year, both Australian launches, American launches, looking at the UK market in terms of where the opportunities are. And there's also an offshore property seminar, which is going to be a one-day workshop, which we're holding later in the year. So go and check that out, and obviously keep your eye on that, because that's where the latest seminars and workshops will be coming, you know, the live launches in terms of where we are. The fifth section, that's all about webinars. Webinars are seminars which are on the web. The beauty is you can sit in the comfort of your home. You can actually literally, the comfort of your home or your office, to be honest, and you can watch it in your time. And this is where we use webinars very extensively to educate you on different markets, to interview different people so that you understand what is happening. Because, you know, informed knowledge is power. And so it's not just about having the knowledge, but it's having informed knowledge from the right people, the people that are out there, the people that are on the front line, the people that are experiencing and that are getting the results. And then we use the medium of webinars to be able to disseminate that information. So again, go along and look at the schedule. We've got a number of webinars coming up over the next coming months and over the year. And again, you know, you can also sign up there so that you're kept up to date with webinars, what's coming live and when are they coming live. And then the last section, that's property, wealth and investor courses. You know, we're all about education. As I said to you, there's only two things that we do, you know, under our business model, and that's provide education and then provide solutions. So as part of our education series, we've got a number of courses basically. The first one I've already told you, it's how to buy a house. The second one is how to be a property investor. You might have bought one property, but how do you take it to another level? How do you understand tax and structuring? How do you make sure that you're getting the best return on investment? How do you manage the risk so that you can continue to build an international portfolio? And I want to share with you the lessons of some of the best people that I've learned from around the world, including my own lessons, having bought my first property at the age of 22 in South Africa and my first property in London at the age of 24, and building a lovely balance sheet and ultimately allowing property to give me the freedom, give me the life that I want. You know, this backdrop, you can see Table Mountain, we live on the beach in Cape Town. I live my dream, and it all is because of property and the opportunities that property provided me, and I want to teach you in that course and share with you the lessons in terms of how to do it. How to buy auction property, about 18 months ago, I looked into the whole market. We knew there's opportunity there. I wanted to buy my first property on auction property, and so I went out, but I realized that there's a huge amount of pitfalls. And even for someone like myself who's experienced in property, I realized that there was a hell of a lot that I had to learn. So I went and quizzed and learned from the best in the market. And this is a course teaching you how you can get the opportunities through the auction market in terms of where you are. We've also got a course on how to buy offshore property. Again, these are videos and experiences from myself. I travel overseas all the time. We work in multiple international markets. I bought my first international property at the age of 24. And this is a course to help you, take you through the steps, to teach you all the skills and strategies. Most importantly, so you can understand the process, you can mitigate the risk. You know, over 80% of people that invest overseas actually lose money. And so this is a course to help you make sure that you're educated, informed, and that you can create wealth preservation, a plan B, and peace of mind. And then lastly, there's a tab there with regards to further courses and things that you would be interested in terms of the overall. So as you can see, it's extremely extensive in terms of our solution providing. It's got a huge amount of meat on it, and as I said to you, it's the heart that is pumping within our website. This is where our solutions are. This is where we help you. This is where we educate you, and then we provide you with solutions. So please, either go up the top, click on the menu structure, choose the part that is most relevant to you, or just go down below and click on the boxes. Either way, you'll be able to get to the areas that are most important to you. I realize that you're not going to be able to do it in 5 minutes. It's taken us over 15 years worth of experience to put all this information together. But at the end of the day, we wanted to provide you one place, just like the philosophy of IPS, where we provide you with an end-to-end solution. So when we help you buy, we help you understand the market, we help you choose the property, we help you arrange the financing, we help you manage the lawyers and the contract and the purchase process, right through to management and actually helping you manage that property. That is what we call the end-to-end solution. And that is why under this area of the website, it is so extensive, because for us, we want to provide you with an end-to-end solution so that you too can invest with confidence. Cheers and enjoy.